Shalom. Shalom, family. Shalom to the so-called blacks, Latino and Native Indian. Shalom to all the kings out there on the highway and the byway, pushing for the gospel, this good news, right? To bidding the lordship of the house of Yahshua, the lordship of the house of Israel. The Israelites are the so-called blacks, Latino and Native Indian. Shalom to every one of you out there. The brother fasting, the sister fasting day and night, putting up with all the things they got to go through to obeying the nation of Israel. Right, as you already know, this the brother Frankie from the 12 Israel on the Christ YouTube page. You already know. Quick announcement. Right, we'll do the best so that this is not too long. Brother and sister, the time we're living in is not the time to play game. It came the time we live in, brother and sister, this is not the time to be playing game with the Most High. Things are going faster. Things are escalating at a very, very rapid and very fast speed, right? So I just want to share this. We hear, like yesterday I was covering on my lesson yesterday, that the United States of America, right? The United States of America, right? Babylon the Great. The Babylon the Great. The Babylon the Great have been supplying weapons to Ukraine, because as you know, we say from the beginning that this war mainly is being run by who? The USA and the NATO. Because the Ukrainian, they are not doing much. All right? So, a couple of days ago, the United States of America have said that they've sent some HIMARS. Now, HIMARS, these are very, very, I would say, precise type of weapon. I'm not a military expert. But HIMARS is like an abbreviation, right? I think the meaning, the breakdown of that is a high mobility weapon, right? I think satellite or something artillery, right? So you gotta keep in mind. So this weapon can hit minimum 50 kilometers and more. 50 kilometers, 50 kilometers and more. And supposedly Joe Biden, he was saying that in the article, this article, I got it from the mainstream media, so you already know what they've done. What they've done in this article is like, they put it away in such a way that they make it sound like if something happened, the Ukrainians are going to be responsible, but which is not true. All right? They're saying that just to wash their hand up, to make it sound that, yeah, the United States is not responsible for that. Because in the article, when you read it, Joe Biden is saying that, yeah, I'm just worrying that you don't use this against the Russians. So why would you send it? But because these politicians, all they do is lie and play evil game, right? That's what they do. They play the game of the father Satan. That's what they do, point blank period. So already they say on Friday or yesterday, Saturday, the HIMARS was already on the ground. The Ukrainian or the NATO army that is helping the Ukrainian, the US army along, because we know, like today, I got it from some sources, you got US military down there operating. You got them down there. It's just that probably there might be somewhere in Kiev when they dispatch them layer by layer, or, they might be in some specific area, things like that. Because all this war is all about the overthrow of the euro currency and the American dollar, which is backed by nothing except for what? Thin air. Your American dollar is backed by nothing except for thin air, right? There's nothing that backs the American dollar. And I believe the same thing for the euro as well. So all this war, you see, all this propaganda, all this fighting against the Russians is nothing else than what the fall of the euro and the American supposedly dollar. So he promised, he said, well, I don't want them to hit the Russian with this, because this is going to trigger. And the Russian, they've been warning about this over and over. The Russian, they have been warning over and over about this. So I got a news earlier about Vladimir Putin last night, right? Saturday night, I think so, was rushing his cortege, right? The limousine and all his, they were speeding, they were rushing up, right? With emergency light on, right, to the Kremlin, right? And usually this doesn't happen unless there's some emergency meeting, some development, in which I believe it has to do with the HIMARS. And there's time, they're linking it up with war. They're linking it up with the situation in Lithuania as well. So it's a lot of going on, brother and sister, all right? All right? It's a lot of going on, all right? You need to repent, man. And brother, lately, brother been having a lot of vision, dreams about the nuclear bomb being dropped. Literally, okay? A lot of brother in the camps, man, from different camps. I just listened to a beloved brother in his video today. The brother was bringing out that lately a lot of brother have been having dreams. The Mosai been showing a lot of Hebrew Israelites in the truth about what? The dropping of the bombs. Okay? And you already know the dropping of the bombs is going to happen throughout the whole world. Right? America, we know mainly, which is Babylon the Great. Okay? The time is over. All right? And then you got what? Some of these European countries, you got one of these chief, I can't remember his name, one of these chief that they just nominated, they just give him the power, the office, right, of England, coming out and say that British must, he didn't say might, maybe, must. Must is a very heavy word. So they already know that, guess what, that they will be going to war literally with Russia. It's all a proxy war from the beginning. But they're turning around, playing the game, deceiving the people, and the people just, you know, they're just right there, worshiping them 24/7. All right? Coming on the TV, declaring that the UK military must prepare for the war, right? And they must win the war. And you got today, I got a video today, early today, that showed that at the meeting of the G7 right now in Germany, you have this gang group, right? It's a group of gangs, right? They decide what to do to anyone they want to. 7 people. And they discriminate against all the other country. They discriminate against the country in Africa. They discriminate against some of this country in Europe, some of this country in Asia, and the list goes on and on and on. And they call themselves G7. So you got Boris Johnson today. At the beginning of G7 summit, they were sitting around the table. He said, yeah, we dress up. Or like, what did he say? He said, we dress up, or we didn't dress up just to show Putin that we tougher. What kind of leader? Somebody who fear God, that will come on the TV and talk like that. What kind of leader in their righteous mind? In that righteous mind will come on the TV and talk like that. They don't seek peace. And this video being played on YouTube, all the platforms, they don't have problem with that. They're inciting to violence. This politician 24/7. They are inciting to violence. And that's their job. Not to surprise. So we're hearing the reason why Vladimir Putin was rushing is based on what there was 2 bases, a Russian military base that got hit by the HIMARS. They got hit by the HIMARS. Okay? Keep in mind. And the Russians, they're going to react based on that. And probably that's why Putin was in a rush with his cortege. You already know whatever they got to do. They got to sit down. It has to do what? The security is on high alert right now in Russia. And today we saw Beijing, China, that came up with what? The new IMF, right? Just to put down the US dollar and the European euro. Right? Let me read you this. This is from World News 24/7. I read. It says global development global development. China, Russia announces new financial system and currency debt repayment in dollar stop. There we go. He said debt repayment in dollar stop. World News 24/7 confirmation, right? And on this picture, you can see Vladimir Putin, right? You can see Vladimir Putin and who, right? And Xi Jinping, all right? Let me read the article quickly a little bit, right? It said the announcement of the new Eurasian financial system by China, by who? China, marks global developments. As World News 24/7 had long ago announced, we have said since 1904 that there would be official announcements. This started today, and now the development are moving at a very fast pace. And this is this is what is making Americans mad. This is the main reason why the U.S. government, the congressmen, the Senate, they're pumping more weapons into Ukraine so that they can attack Russia indirectly, so that they can bully Russia. Along with the European Union, they're seducing more nations. They're seducing like the Lithuania, which back in those days used to be part of the Soviet Union. All right? So things going to escalate, especially with this movement right now, right? Things going to escalate. Let's read this article a little bit. China announced the creation of the Eurasian IMF. There we go. Okay, and if you don't know what is the IMF, it's the International Monetary Fund, which is dictated by the United States of America, and the $50, right, with some Edomite Fesoni, as you already know, with some Edomite Fesoni, along with the European Union, so that they can dictate to the world what they want to do, at any time. He said, and Putin announced the creation of a new currency. In fact, the accession country to the wider Eurasian financial system will have no reason to repay the debt they made in dollars or euros. There we go. Okay. He says, so there comes a big torpedo. What is coming? A big torpedo in dollars and euro. Many countries will rush to join the new monetary system, whether they are from the South or the Middle East. The IMF was replaced today. The SWIFT system is replaced. Bye-bye. Game over. Let me go right here. This is the book of Joel chapter 3 and verses 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshare into sword, and your pruning hooks into spear. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right? Assemble yourself and come, all ye hidden, and gather yourself together around the bow. Did cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So that's the Most High bringing them in. That's the Most High throwing the hook and hooking them by the jaw. Right? Let's read it. He say, the Eurasian IMF, the People's Bank of China, creates a yuan reserve with 5 other countries in cooperation with the Bank for International Settlement to compete with the dollar and support other volatile economies. There we go. There we go. It really said, this is the IMF of Eurasia. In the first phase, with the participation of countries such as Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and Chile, which will each contribute 15 billion yuan, about $2.2 billion, in order to have access to lending in case they need it. The announcement was made by the People's Bank of China and was followed last week by the publication of the Sino-Russian plan by Putin himself to create the anti-dollar for international trade with the participation of countries such as Brazil, India, and South Africa. There we go. There we go. Okay? There we go now. Now, your American about to get a rude awakening soon. Because wait until the United States of America escalate the war in Russia versus NATO. Wait till they escalate the war. And wait till this coming winter and fall. This coming fall and winter, if the Most High allow us. Because we don't know. Right? That's why we got to watch for the time we're living in right now, brother and sister. All right? Wait until this coming fall or winter, why we believe, right? And this is our vain opinion, that if China invade or take over, start a military operation in Taiwan, guess what? For sure, Babylon the Great is going to get involved in the war. And going to drag some of these NATO members and European Union. They're going to join in to go